Hi there. The last video I wanted to share about my learning around Postman was around data quality tests. I found out that there's a way that we can use Postman as a way to do data quality tests across environments and across cubes and really any object we want to check. So here we are in Postman again. We've already covered Git, so I'm going to close that one. We've already covered the TM1 REST API, and using these as examples of different things we can check, I put together a couple examples that I want to kind of showcase. So let's say we have a cube called fin reporting, and we want to kind of validate that things are working correctly. So we could put together a call here that and using the tests tab within Postman, we can kind of follow this kind of a pattern where we parse the response body, put that into some kind of could be a collection variable, environment variable, or a global variable, and then we can start running tests. So Postman has this neat idea of actually defining a test and then putting a function against it. So these are just some examples I put together here. So if I say PM test connection, I'm going to pass in a function. The function is going to say PM response to half status 201. So Postman is smart enough to parse all these different pieces. So this is going to check that the response had a status of 201, which tells me that it connected and ran successfully. Similarly, I could run a different test to say I'm going to pass in a function, and I want the response to not be an error. Maybe that there's any kind of other errors going on, connected, but don't have security access to check something or what have you. And the last test I put together is non-zero. So I'm going to test against a particular view that I know should always have non-zero data. So this is all based off of the view execute. So if I go under my TM1 REST API, there's going to be a view execute item, and this is just the template that I started with. It's going to have the protocol, and these are all going to be, I recommend these all be environment variables. You could play with cube name and view name to either be hard coded or a variable. And when I flip from this view execute back to my verify fin reporting, you'll see it's the same thing. I just hard coded fin reporting and default as the name of my view, just to run through these tests. So this is not going to change any numbers. This is just going to really pull this view that I've identified and run some tests against it. So now when I send this, I'll get back the test results that are going to tell me for each of these tests whether it's green or red and whether the test passed or failed. So here I see my list of my 3 tests, and notice how I've identified these through my code here, and I can really put any JavaScript coding I want in here to evaluate whether the test is passed or failed. And this could be a long set, and we can have different ones as well. So maybe we can use different functions or any kind of sets. And this is where the concept of a collection is very powerful. I can actually go to my collection group here, and I can say I want to run this whole thing. So I can run the whole folder. When I run the whole folder, it'll give me how many iterations do I want to do. And now I'm going to run that whole thing, and it's going to run all of those different ones, each of those tests, give me back the results. So if we're going to be running data quality tests to see that items are synced across applications, across environments, this is something that it can use the REST API on different machines and different applications to validate all different kinds of data quality tests we'd like to do. And these can continue to grow from a continuous improvement perspective and a continuous integration. These could be run every time nightly ETL completes to be very proactive and let us know if things are indeed correct and if the data quality matches expectations. Thanks for watching.